Okay, so I am looking for a few startup scouts. So let's talk about what a startup scout is. Now, most people can think about what a scout is when it comes to professional sports. Those professional teams have scouts that go and watch players at the collegiate level and sometimes the high school level, and they get a feel for what type of player they're going to be and what type of opportunity there is to work with that player. A startup scout basically does the same thing. That person is out in the marketplace, meeting startup founders, learning about what they're doing, and then thinking about bringing those startup founders to people like myself that provide both services and investment opportunities in startups. So, who makes a good startup scout? Well, first of all, just about anyone can be one, but there are particular skill sets that are really handy and come in and work well when you're trying to be a startup scout. That would be folks who are around startups in the first place. So maybe you're an attorney that works with startups. Maybe you're an accountant that works with startups. Maybe you sell software to businesses, such as startups that want to use your software. Folks who are already being introduced to these startups are obviously going to make good startup scouts, but anyone can do it. Anyone can do it, and it's helpful if you understand what to look for in a startup in the first place. Now, part of that, in the notes, I'm going to put a link to a free guide that I've produced for people that talks about what investors such as myself look for in a startup in the first place. And that includes things like a great idea and a really strong team and intellectual property such as patents and trademarks and copyrights and all these different things. There's actually 9 different things in that ebook that it'll walk you through. And if you understand those basics, and you are out in the marketplace meeting startup founders, maybe you're going to pitch competitions, maybe you're meeting them online through LinkedIn and Angels List, maybe you're meeting them in accelerators, maybe you're a startup founder yourself and you meet lots of startups who could use help. So a couple of things that I offer, I have 2 different companies that work with startups. One is the Harold Lewis Group, which is my primary company, and it's where I provide financial and capital advisory services to startups. That typically looks like helping them find capital either through debt or equity, typically equity if you're an early stage startup. And then I have founderdocs.io. You can head to that website as well. And that company produces investor-ready pitch decks and business plans that startup founders can use in going out and getting the capital that they need. And so I'm looking for a few people who are willing to be a startup scout for me. Go out, meet startup founders, bring them back and introduce me to them. And if that leads to revenue, I'll pay you a commission on that opportunity. So if that's interesting to you, please be sure to check out the notes. I'm going to link to the free ebook that I talked about. I'm also going to link to both of my business websites so that you can use that and showing that to startup founders. And then I'm also going to send you a link to a form where when you find an opportunity, you can complete the information on there and that'll lock you in as the referral source for that startup. It also includes a simple email template. If you're wanting to introduce me to them via email, you can send them this email, copy us on it, and if it turns into an opportunity, you'll make some money too.